स्टूडेंट्स, आज की क्लास में हम आज का टॉपिक जो है वो KNN एल्गोरिथम है और कंप्यूटेशनल लर्निंग थियरी चैप्टर्स, दैट इज़ 4th यूनिट ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग. It is taken from that chapter. So, KNN algorithm, what is an KNN algorithm? The full form of KNN is K nearest neighbor. So, K stands for, it is holding some integer value, we will see that, but basically the KNN algorithm is the simplest algorithm which is used in finding the problems related with the classification or regression kind of problem. So, basically we need to understand classification, what is classification and what is regression. So, classification मान लीजिए एक basket में mixed of fruits दिए हुए हैं, bananas, apples, pineapples. So, we need to identify which are the number of apples and keep them separate. The bananas we have to take, and based on their features we select and classify them, that yes, this is banana, this is apple. So, basically it is nothing but a classification kind of problem. And a regression basically in classification kind of problem we will have the discrete value as the output, that is either 1 or either 0, that will be the output, or it will be in terms of either that is an apple or it is not an apple. So, either of the two. So, this is basically the output, this will be the output in terms of classification kinds of problem, whereas in regression kind of problem the output will be a continuous value. So, for example, if we see a regression kind of problem, so there are a number of houses of different sizes and we need to predict their cost. Suppose we want to purchase it, then we need to know what is the present cost of a particular house. So, in this term there will be a range of prices, or the cost of the houses will be in different range. So, the output of this is a kind of regression problem. So, the output of this will be a one particular real number. So, the cost of the house will be some lakhs or some in crores. So, basically this is a kind of regression kind of problem. Okay. So, in types of machine, so here in this basically the KNN algorithm finds its application in classification kind of problem as well as in regression kind of problem. So, आज की क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे द टाइप्स ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग. सो ये जो KNN एल्गोरिथम है कौन सी मशीन लर्निंग में आता है, एल्गोरिथम में आता है. देन व्हाट इज़ KNN एल्गोरिथम, उसका इंट्रोडक्शन. देन वर्किंग, ये KNN एल्गोरिथम कैसे किसी सेट ऑफ डेटा को दिया जाए और ये हाउ इट वर्क्स ऑन दोज डेटा. सो वर्किंग जानेंगे, एंड दैट वर्किंग और द स्टेप्स विल बी सपोर्टेड बाय two examples which I have taken based on the regression kind of problem, and then the advantages and disadvantages of this KNN algorithm, and finally KNN algorithm where it finds its application. So, basically there are three types of machine learning: the supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforcement learning. There is a fourth kind which is of lesser important, which is nothing but we can say it is an hybrid kind of machine learning, which involves the supervised as well as unsupervised. A mixture of supervised and unsupervised machine learning is nothing but we call that as semi supervised learning algorithm. So, in supervised learning algorithm we see that basically the problems with related with regression kind of thing, decision tree, random forest, and classification. So, if the problem is out of these four kind of problems, regression, based on regression, or based on decision tree, based on random forest, or based on the classification, then we say that it can be solved by this particular supervised learning algorithms, and those algorithms are we can apply out of this any of the algorithm on that particular data sample or the particular problem. So, KNN, trees, logistic, regression, naive Bayes, and support vector machine. So, all these algorithm are basically supervised machine learning algorithm. Now, under unsupervised learning algorithm we have SVD, principal component analysis, k means. Now, this do not get confused with this k means and KNN means, both are different. So, this is k means, it comes under unsupervised learning and its steps or algorithm is different. Now, this association analysis, in that we have a priori and FP growth, and there is another kind of like hidden Markov model. So, all these belong to unsupervised machine learning, and there is a third category, that is reinforcement learning, which is nothing but where in this reinforcement learning a particular entity is left into the environment and it struggles in the environment to survive by taking various actions. Based on those actions, the entity will be either rewarded or it will be penalized for the wrong step it has taken. So, we will not go more in that, but we will discuss more about this KNN algorithm, which is nothing but a supervised machine learning. Now, let us see what are the major differences among them, the supervised, unsupervised and reinforcement learning. So, basically there based on these 5 criteria, the major 3 algorithm machine learning algorithm can be differentiated. Now, this based on the definition, the supervised learning is that the machine learns by using labeled data. That means that samples of data present given to us is labeled, means what kind of it is, with if say suppose if we say a number and along with that number we say it is some its unit, maybe in kilometer or in liters. So, that becomes a labeled. So, that is any data samples given or with the labeled, then we say that it is a supervised learning. So, machine learning learns by using the labeled data, supervised algorithms. Then unsupervised learning, the machine is trained on unlabeled data without any guidance. So, basically in unsupervised learning there is no supervision or supervisor. So, basically the data is unlabeled, we do not know what is the nature of the data. So, that comes under unsupervised learning. And as I said, reinforcement learning, the particular agent or the particular entity interacts with the environment by performing actions, and based on that action the entity will be either rewarded or punished. So, basically that is the kind of reinforcement learning. Now, based on the second criteria, that is type of problem. So, all the regression kind of problems and all the classification kind of problems can be solved by this supervised machine learning algorithm, which we have discussed in the earlier slide. And all kind of association and clustering. Clustering, we know that if given a color of balloons, different colors of balloon, now we need to cluster one kind, like a red clustering, green clustering. So, for in those kind of problem, this finds its application. Reinforcement learning based on the reward. So, reward based on the reward, this algorithm moves ahead. Now, the type of data, the data should be the labeled data. Here the data is unlabeled, and here nothing is known about the data. So, no predefined data is there. So, it has to be generated within that particular environment instantaneously. So, now the based on the training, here an external supervisor is required in order to check whether the output we are getting from the machine learning is optimum or not. Here there is no supervision, and in the reinforcement also there is no supervision, and the final is nothing, it is based on the approach. So, how this machine learning basically takes the approach of mapping the labeled inputs to the known outputs. So, in this the input is available, the output is available, and the operator or the function has to be optimized. So, basically this is the supervised learning, and here unsupervised learning, the approach is it understands the pattern about the data. We do not know what is the nature of the data, but we about its feature, based on that it understands the patterns and discovers the output. And in reinforcement learning, it follows the trial and error method. So, the approach of the reinforcement learning is basically the trial and error kind of thing. Okay, so, let us move ahead with our KNN algorithm, which is a supervised machine learning algorithm. So, here k is nothing but it holds an integer value nearest neighbor. So, suppose if I say k, okay, let us see with an example. Now, in this we see that within the circle there are two shapes available, square and triangle. Now, if a third entity comes in and we want to know to which class whether it belongs to a square class or to the triangle class, we do not know. So, the new entity to which class it becomes. So, in this kind of problem the KNN plays an important role, where based upon the k value, as I said, k takes an integer value. So, based on this k value we will see the majority, and based on the majority of the class we will assign that class to the new entrant. So, here we see that k is equal to 3, there are 3 entities and majority is the 2, whereas only single triangle is there. So, we can predict or we can have the solution as this, the new entity which has come is nothing but it belongs to the class square. So, this is nothing but KNN algorithm. Now, this selection of this k is very important. If the selection is k is not taken care while giving or assigning an integer value, then it may mislead us, we may not reach to the optimum solution. So, there is a thumb rule of for selecting or for making this k value. So, we will come to that later. KNN is based on feature similarity. So, the feature is nothing but the shape here. Right value of k is important for better accuracy. So, the value of k is important in the prediction of the better solution. So, this is the thing, and this is the selection of this value is nothing but it is known as parameter pruning. Now, KNN finds the distance from each point to the reference point. Now, suppose if we see take another example, the bigger circle, this circle where k is equal to 7 and there are 7 entities, and now we see that the k value has changed the solution itself. So, here we see that there are total 7 entities and one new entity. Now, we need to predict to which class it belongs. So, we see that here only 3 squares are there, but 4 triangles are there. Now, we conclude that the new entrant is nothing but it belongs to the triangle class. So, the role of the k plays a very important role in deciding the optimum solution to our problem or to greater accuracy to our solution. Okay. So, it is a kind of supervised machine learning KNN algorithm. It is used for both classification and regression predictive problems basically in industries. So, there are two properties of this KNN algorithm. First one is it is known as lazy learning algorithm. Why it is lazy? Because it does not learn a discriminative function from the training data and uses all the data samples present in the data set for while classification. So, basically what is a it does not learn a discriminative function is nothing but what is a discriminating function f of x comma y. So, this value will be high when the value of y is correct answer to x, but if value of y is not correct answer to s, then this function will have a value low value. So, this is nothing but it is a example of discriminative function. So, next property is that it is a non-parametric learning algorithm. KNN is a non-parametric learning algorithm because it does not have a pre-notion or it does not assume anything about the data which is under the data set or the sample. So, this is the second property. Now, let us see how this KNN algorithm works. What are the steps involved in this? The first step is nothing but to load the data set. We need the data set to apply. So, during the first step of KNN, we must load the training model as well as the test data. So, these two things are required in the first step. Now, next step is we need to choose the value of k. So, as we saw in the earlier slide that by selecting the k value, our solution itself changes. So, we must be very careful while selecting this k value. K is nothing but it holds an integer, and that integer says how many neighbors are surrounding that particular entity. So, the nearest neighbor point k can be any integer. So, we will see how this optimum value of k is determined. So, in step 3, for each point in the data set, the things is that we need to calculate the distance between the reference and the several other entities present around. So, we need to calculate the distance. So, it is like there are 2 points and we need to calculate the distance between the 2 points. So, we for that there are several formulas. One is the Euclidean distance calculation. Similarly, there are Manhattan formula, there is Minkowski formula for calculating the distance from one point to another. Their formula is different from each other. Now, the most commonly used method to calculate the distance is Euclidean, because it is a very straightforward formula to calculate the Euclidean distance of the reference point to the other points nearby it. The next step is to choose the top k rows from the sorted array. So, once we have found the distance, now the next step is to arrange those Euclidean distance in the ascending order, that is smallest to the biggest, and once that is arranged, we will, based on this value of k, we will select those many rows, and among those row we will see that which is having the majority. Based on that majority class will be assigned to the new entrant. So, we will see that with an example. So, the next step is we will assign a class to the test point based on the most frequent class of these rows. So, once the data are arranged in the ascending order, we will select based on the k value that many rows, and we will see that the frequency of the class which is more, and we will take that frequency and assign to the new entrant which is present in the data set, and finally, the algorithm ends. So, this is the flow chart which I have explained earlier. So, loading the value of k and the data sample, finding the k nearest neighbor to the data, next is select the maximum label class of k to the data and then stop. So, this is the flow of the algorithm. So, these steps are already explained. Now, as I said, the important thing in this is the selection of k value. So, how the k value is? K value may lead us to a better performance. So, that is why the selection of this k value is very important. If we select k to be a large value, then we may end up looking at samples that are not neighbors. So, this may mislead us to a inaccurate prediction or wrong prediction. The rule of thumb for selecting the value of k is k less than equal to less than square root of n, where n is the number of training examples. So, k should be less than the square root of number of samples present in the data set. So, the rule of thumb is that for selecting is that this is the condition. So, here we have assumed k is equal to 3, that means we have determined that k equal to 3 in the next example given. So, we can see that. So, here we see that there are 11 samples. So, 11 samples, root of 11 will be nothing but 3 point something. So, we take it as the value of k equal to 3. Here n is nothing but 11. So, root of n is nothing but k. So, k value is determined to be 3. Now, here this data sample consists of 11 players, and they play either cricket or football or neither of the two, and in this team there are male as well as female teachers. So, and their age are given. So, in order to find the Euclidean distance, we have to know what is the formula for that. We will come to that later, but basically here we are having only one numeric value, that is age. The rest are in the terms of text. This is not considered. So, this is considered only for calculation of the k. Now, we see that only one numeric values are there, rest are in the terms of text. So, in order to apply our Euclidean distance, we need one more numeric value. So, we can convert this gender column into a numeric value. So, here we can say that male is assigned as 1 and female is assigned as 0, and the new entrance to which we want to find whether she plays football or cricket or neither of the two. So, for that we need to use the Euclidean distance. So, how we will now apply the KNN algorithm and find out whether she plays cricket or football or neither of the two. So, this is taken as reference. So, this is taken as reference x 1, x 1 is nothing but we can take this as x 1 and this is y 1, and x 2 and y 2 are the rest of the thing. So, here the Euclidean distance where x 1 and y 1 are the reference values and x 2 and y 2 are the values of these samples. So, based on that their values are calculated x 1 x 1. So, x 1 is 5 and she is, and second thing is that female is assigned 0. So, 0 0. Now, x 1 minus x 2, this is x 2 and the whole square plus she is female. So, 0 minus he is male. So, 0 minus 1 the whole square, and we find out the square root of the thing, we will get that 27. Similarly, we will take the next sample and do the Euclidean distance calculation. We will get a set of Euclidean distance. Now, the next step is these to arrange these in the ascending order. We have to arrange them in the ascending order. So, basically here the Euclidean distance are arranged in the ascending order, smallest to the biggest, and based on our k values which we have calculated earlier, the top 3 where k is equal to 3, the top 3 rows are selected and their class is noted. Now, in the class we see that majority is that cricket is 2 in number, whereas this is single. So, we assign the new player who is Angel and she plays cricket. So, here based on the most frequent class we assign that class to the new entrant. So, Angel in our previous here she plays cricket. So, we have applied and our prediction is that the new player will play cricket, most likely to play cricket. Now, let us take another example where weight and heights of class of people are there, and based on the weight they are classified as underweight or normal. So, similarly, we will take these two parameters and do the Euclidean distance calculation, and based on that calculation we will arrange them in ascending order, and since there are 1 2 3 6 9 10. So, root of 10 will decide the value of k, and k is here we have got as 3. Now, the 3 will be selected, and the majority we see that the new entrance is nothing but as per the height and weight he is a normal, he comes under the normal weight category. So, this is the how we apply an KNN algorithm on a data sample to find out the to predict the class of the. So, it is a classification kind of problem. Now, let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of this KNN algorithm. Basically, it is useful for non-linear data because there is no assumption about the data. First thing, it is a versatile algorithm because we can use it for classification as well as regression kind of problems. Relatively higher accuracy it gives, so much, but it is a higher accuracy algorithm, but comparatively there are algorithms which may give a more higher accuracy compared to this. What are the demerits of this KNN algorithm? Basically, it is expensive algorithm, computationally a bit expensive algorithm because it stores all the training data. Second thing is prediction is slow in case of the big number of samples. Suppose there are in the data set the samples are in large quantities, then the prediction may take some time to give the solution. So, it is a slow process, and that is the drawback of this KNN algorithm. Now, what are the application of this KNN algorithm? Basically, it finds its application in banking sector or in banking system, where the algorithm is applied to predict whether an individual is fit for loan approval or not. So, there will be a database consisting of previous history of different persons who have taken and who have not paid or who have paid on time the loan. So, those record will be maintained, and if by chance a next person comes in and he wants to take loan, now seeing the previous history data, their samples, individual features of maybe their features, maybe their age, their income. So, based on this, that will be the inputs of the new entrant who wants to apply for loan will be taken, his data will be taken, and then it will be applied in the KNN algorithm to find whether the new entrant has to be approved, the loan has to be approved or not. So, this KNN algorithm is used there. Now, the second area where we can use it in the politics to find the voter number of voters which are going to vote for which party. So, there it finds its application. A third kind of application is in the area like speech recognition, handwriting detection, image recognition, and video recognition. So, these are the areas where the KNN algorithm finds its application. So, with this the KNN algorithm discussion is over.